Roger Moore is back again for one last go around as James Bond, but how does he hold up in this previous entry? Let's find out in the review. How are we doing, everybody? This is Let's Be Real with Brad. Today, we'll be talking about the 14th official James Bond film, A View to a Kill. This film is known as the last outing of Roger Moore as James Bond, with being in 7 official movies, which is the most for any actor as James Bond, unless you don't count Connery's 7th appearance as Bond in Never Say Never Again. This Bond outing is another bland, uninspired, and crappy James Bond film that felt like it was going through the motions of any other typical Bond entry that leaves a lot desired from it. Let's hop right into the negatives, starting with Moore as Bond, with being his worst performance yet. This film often gets criticized for his look in the movie, which is justified considering he looks the oldest he has ever looked before. He seems all wrinkly and out of touch for this role. I appreciate Moore trying to stay in the best shape possible for this role and be the best he can, but he looks done in this movie. It is starting to get harder to believe that this almost 60-year-old man can perform all these action stunts as a secret agent kicking all these guys' butts. It becomes silly at this point. Another disappointment is that the original script had Barbara Bach reprising her role as Major Anya Amosov from 1977's The Spy Who Loved Me. However, Bach declined the role, and so an entirely new character, Paula Ivanova, was created, played by Fiona Fullerton. This would have been the first time a Bond girl made a second appearance in a Bond film up to this point, which would have worked perfectly because Anya Amosov is easily one of my favorite Bond girls so far. The story is the weakest aspect of the movie that feels so unnecessary and quite stupid. The film even opens up to being this ridiculous and foolish subplot involving horse racing that didn't even work for me, even though there was more to it. The main villain's plan is oddly similar to another villain of the James Bond series that seemed more fascinating in that film than this. The story is very formulaic, with nothing about it feeling fresh or exciting in its approach to the story. This is probably because they solely borrowed the name of the Ian Fleming short story from A View to a Kill and made an original story out of it, which the Moore films have been known for doing. This film is also so damn dull. Once we hit that 35 to 40 minute mark, I felt out of the movie for a while because there was no useful or exciting dialogue being spoken on screen. The script felt precisely like everything I've seen before, with a dull and out of touch feel to it. The humor might be the worst in this one, where 95% of the jokes fall flat on their face, which could be due to Moore's lackluster performance to add to it. The film does have its ridiculous and cheesy moments the Moore films have been notorious for having, as it doesn't seem as severe as the other films, but annoying and stupid nonetheless. The film does have a few positives, starting with Christopher Walken as the main villain Zorin. He gives a charismatic and excellent performance in which he is fantastic on screen. He is one of the best Bond villains we have had in a while, as he feels like an actual threat to Bond and not some boring businessman. Next being some of the action sequences are quite enjoyable, with half the opening action scene was great, along with Bond driving in a third of a car, chasing someone while slamming into pedestrians, buildings, and vehicles that are in front of him, where he isn't looking, makes for some great and stupid fun. The big finale fight on the Golden Gate Bridge and the burning building scene were the film's most memorable moments. John Barry's music is top tier in this one, feeling electric and bringing these action scenes to life with his incredible score. This might be my favorite score of his in the 80s era so far, that feels so perfect with this era, as I wish it was used for a better Bond film. The title song, A View to a Kill by Duran Duran, is also great. Even though the music doesn't make a whole lot of sense, it is still a groovy and exciting song that is one of my favorite Bond songs to date, becoming the only theme song to reach #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earning a Golden Globe nomination for Best Song. Overall, this is a lousy, boring, and uninteresting new entry to the Bond franchise that felt like it showcased many of the most uncreative and uninspired moments of the series that still managed to be fun at specific points in the film, but not enough to keep me engaged throughout. I'm giving this one a 4 out of 10. So let me know down below in the comment section if you have seen A View to a Kill and where it ranks in your James Bond film rankings. Before leaving this video, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you never miss a new, fun, and exciting video. Next week, I will be talking about the 15th film in the official series, The Living Daylights, which is Timothy Dalton's first movie as Bond replacing Roger Moore, so be sure to check it out before next week's review. As always, I will see you all in the next video.